Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we're going to be talking about, I don't really know what we're going to be talking about. It's not even like much to really check right now, I suppose. Like sometimes when I'm playing, I'll be like, oh, let's open up Neopets because that's a very easy thing to open up and see what's going on with. But I already did my daily quest for today. Oh, you know what did happen though? But basically, there's this thing in Neopets where you have daily quests, and then if you do the daily quest for a week, you get a weekly quest prize. And one of them, we'll go into this in a second. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 9:56 p.m. on Friday, April 5th, 2024. And one of the weekly prizes was something called a stealthy paintbrush, which is basically like a high commodity item in this game, even higher for me, because I'm like, I want a stealthy. Well, I do have a stealthy pet, but I don't want this pet to be stealthy anymore. I want a different pet to now be stealthy. Long story. It's like a high commodity customization item, essentially. And I was like, whoa, okay, you know, because what happens if you don't do the weekly quest is it kind of like re-rolls itself most of the time. So I was like, okay, I will just let this like expire, and I will, you know, not let it expire. I will do the daily quests and do the weekly quests. But for some reason it glitched out where I did all the daily quests and I accepted all of them. I believe I accepted all of them. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure actually anymore. But it didn't give me the weekly quest credits. I was like, oh, maybe it's just like graphically glitched. And then the next day, lo and behold, the weekly quests reset and that stealthy paintbrush is nowhere to be seen. It was really sad in only a sense restrained, I suppose, to the world of Neopets. But yeah, I mean, that happened. I mean, glitches happen. Let's be real. We don't live in a perfect world, and to be honest, glitches happen legit all the time. I remember actually there used to be so many glitches. Not so many glitches I took advantage of in Animal Crossing, but I used to like know the glitches pretty well in Animal Crossing, because I remember Let's Go to the City was a pretty or City Fog as you might call it, was like reasonably broken. Like one major thing in it was that the duping glitch was a huge thing in that game, right? Not a huge thing, but it was like a huge like exploit, which I don't think was ever patched. You might be like, what's a duping glitch? Well, it's something along it. To be fair, it was implemented for a good reason. Not like it wasn't purposely implemented to have a glitch, mind you. It was implemented to be like a failsafe. But what they basically did was, if you went in online mode or whatever, and then you like brought some items with you and you drop them on the floor, and then it's something like you have to disconnect, or no, it's some, I can't remember exactly what you have to do. It's like the host has to kick you out or something, but you have to spam the home button, and then you have to quit from your console while the host kicks you out or something. And what will end up happening is it duplicates the items. You will have your items reset back into your inventory, and the host will get to keep the items that you got. I don't remember if that's exactly what you had to do. I just have it in my memory, but you had to mash the home button, and it's something along those lines. I genuinely can't remember, but that was a huge part of that game. Not a huge part of that game, but it was a huge thing which I took advantage of, because Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City was the first game I actually like fully paid off the Animal Crossing debt. And to be fair, it was actually a lot smaller in the Wii game than it was in most of the other games, because in all the other games, it was like you could have it up to 4 different characters, but actually, to be fair, I guess in the GameCube game it wasn't like that, so I'm not sure why they did it for Wild World. But in Wild World, basically, you all lived in the same house, and you all tried to upgrade that one house, and you ended up with like a mega mansion, like we have in New Horizons today, to be honest. Basement, top floor, left, back, and right rooms. Honestly, it was pretty cool, so I'm glad they brought it back for New Horizons. But Let's Go to the City, they like massively downgraded. You didn't get any more side rooms. You only got like a top room and a bottom room. Maybe you got a back room as well. I don't remember. But you had much smaller rooms, and everyone could like create their own house essentially. So you would have like 4 houses on the island, and now we have New Horizons where you can have up to 8 of them, which is like a little bit crazy, to be perfectly honest. And they can all be full sized. So unsurprisingly, you see people with some incredible customizations out there in their housing. But I remember Let's Go to the City was the first one I actually like properly paid off my loan for, because I just like did this dupe glitch with some like friends I used to have or something, and we just like paid off all our loans. It was crazy. Because I didn't do it in Wild World. I did eventually pay off my Animal Crossing loan in Wild World. It took me many, many, many years. Like, I did it after the Let's Go to the City one, because it just took me that long, I think, to save up that much money. And the only reason I managed to pay off the final debt was because one of my friends had a Game Shark, I remember, and then they hacked in like a load of money and just gave it out to me. And I was like, I'm going to use this to pay off my loan. Look at me. Younger me already thinking about debts and that sort of thing. But it's interesting. I mean, that one's not really a glitch. That one's straight up a hack. But there's not as many glitches that I know of, at least in New Horizons. I'm trying to think if New Leaf had glitches, but I didn't really play New Leaf when it first came out, to be perfectly honest. Like, I played it like 2 years after it came out, because I didn't have a 3DS I think you needed to have for it. And I didn't buy a 3DS until much, much later, and I bought the Pikachu 3DS XL one. Mainly because there weren't any games on it which I particularly wanted, I think, until Pokemon X or something. But that might have... I don't really remember when that came out, to be honest. I think I just wasn't playing DS games at the time anymore. I was very much onto the PC gaming crowd. But Let's Go to City had quite a few glitches, I remember. Like, that was one of them. What other ones can I remember? There's the Out of Bounds one. But the ones I remember all tend to be the multiplayer ones. But you could build, like, a windmill or a lighthouse in that game. It wasn't just, like, a customizable item you had to put down. It was literally, like, a public works project you had to spend money for. It cost, like, a couple million or something. And you had to put it down somewhere on your beach. That's what I remember. No, not on the beach, on the coastal area. No terraforming in that game. And I remember if you put it in such a place that you had like a one tile gap to the side of it, you could actually go in multiplayer and then have people, like one person like caught in that corner between the lighthouse and the ocean, I suppose, or the river to the side of it, the delta of a river, or what's the opposite of a delta? Hold on, what? River opposite of delta. Like, one is if the seawater, the sea strength of the waves is stronger than the river flow. And the other one is the opposite, right? Estuaries, I think. Estuaries are present when the ocean or lake water floods up the river. So deltas are when the river... deltas are when the river winds, and estuaries are when the sea or lake winds. Sorry, yeah, so you basically sort of pinch yourself in between the... I guess it would be a delta in that game, wouldn't it? The delta and the lighthouse. And then you had like another player run at you or something in that corner. Eventually, like, I can't remember how you do it. It was actually super easy to do, but you do it for long enough and it would like pop you to the top of the lighthouse or something, or a windmill. And it was really cool. And then we used to do that. But they used to like... The problem with the thing is that like, one person always had to be left behind. But then like someone discovered a way that you could do it like as a solo person or something. And I remember I used to just like hang out there with my friends, just like sitting on top of a lighthouse or something. My Animal Crossing friends. Sitting on top of a lighthouse and just, I don't know, typing using in-game chat, which is crazy to think about. But I used to type using the Wiimote and like clicking each letter individually. It was honestly ridiculous that. That's what I used to do. I think some of my friends had like a USB keyboard or something they plugged into the Wii. It was wild. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably doing fine, is my guess. I don't really know. I forgot where I was going to go with this, to be honest. But that was a glitch I remember. I actually can't remember any other glitches. I know there was a lot of out of bounds ones. There was like one about running into like Rossetti's base, I think, in the city area. I can't really remember any others off the top of my head. I know New Horizons definitely had some glitches. The only one I can think about was like there was a glitch where if you put... I can't remember exactly. You had to put something on the ground and then you had to use your ladder to walk on top of it. Like it had to be like the puzzle piece furniture or something. And if you do that, you could sort of like glitch out of bounds and it let you to like walk into the hot tub, like furniture item, or maybe into the river as well. I genuinely can't remember. What else happened, I suppose, around that time? I'm genuinely trying to think about the glitches, but it's a bit difficult to think of off the top of my head. I don't know, I can't really think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there were more, but again, not the easiest thing just to conceive of immediately. Drinking water because I'm thirsty. What was I going to say? I don't really remember. What other sort of like glitches do I have? I'm trying to think of glitches in other games which I used to play and explain. I was very much not someone who took advantage of glitches very often. As you can tell, the glitches I took advantage of were all kind of like in a social setting. peer pressure, I suppose it gets to us all. But I don't know. Like, to me, I suppose the point of playing the game is playing within the rules and expectations that the game designer created. You know, they've created a specific experience in mind, and it's sort of just like engaging with it on the terms expected. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, you know, choose to have glitches, or you shouldn't choose to necessarily enjoy the game or engage with a game in the way the game designer intended, because sometimes, you know, that's not feasible for you. Sometimes, like, you literally can't. Sometimes it's just not what you enjoy, but you find that playing a game a different way is what you enjoy, in which case more power to you. I just don't know. I don't, like, when I was younger, I didn't really care that much for glitches, I suppose. I never really sort them out, except for out of idle curiosity, if anything. I think maybe there's a game which I can think of which is a good counterpoint to that, but Animal Crossing is like the only game I can really think of I actually like did glitches actively in. And I mean, to be fair, the duping glitch was actually a pretty massive glitch, to be perfectly honest. But rather inconsequential at the end, because it's not like it's the hardest game in the world to earn bells in Animal Crossing, nor is that really sort of like the forefront of the point of a game. I suppose it was, to me, very achievement-oriented Little Dear Darling. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I played so many Pokemon games. Did I like exploit any glitches in that? Maybe not what I can think of though. Like, one of the most notable Pokemon glitches, the only one I can think of is, like, Missing, though. But, you know, I'm way too young to have been playing, like, Pokemon Red or Blue, I suppose, on the original console, or anything like that. What else? That's a good question. What else is, like, a really famous glitch? I'm sure there must have been more off the top of my head, but it's really hard to think of things. I'm trying to think of games I played a lot when I was younger. Plants and Zombies come to mind, but even then, I don't even know if there were any glitches in Plants and Zombies. But probably were. Let's see. Because I've got to say, a lot of developers of the games, at least I've played, have done a pretty decent job patching out the glitches. That's such that me and your average Joe Schmo, your average Jane Doe, didn't really run into, well, any glitches by accident that I really know of. I'm sure there have been times, but none that have really stuck in my mind, which is anything, I suppose, a testament to the QA process, unsung heroes, I think, of the entire procedure. Where was I going with this? I don't remember anymore. I'm sure it was really important, though. Team Fortress 2, that might have had some glitches in it. But it was an online multiplayer game, so I don't think I would even engage with the glitches all that much. The closest thing I can think of is that at one point I was like, oh, I want to get, like, achievements in Team Fortress 2. And then I found out there was a thing called, like, achievement servers where you could do, like, really difficult things to get achievements. And I remember I did, like, a couple of them, and I'll be fully transparent with you. But I was just like, oh, what's the point of doing this? I remember it also really, really messed up my TF2 stats as well. Like, I was just playing and it was just like, oh, you've got, like, 50 defenses as, like, a sniper or something. Or it was like, whoa, you got 200 kills in one round as a pirate. And I was like, that's just ridiculous. So I remember, I distinctly remember going to this achievement server, like, once or something, like, trying to get some of these achievements. It didn't even work for me, I think. Or maybe it did work for inconsequential things. Maybe, like, kills with taunts or something. I genuinely don't know. But I tried doing it and it's like, oh, it just didn't work. I mean, like, my stats got super messed up and I was like, oh, I like those stats. So then I reset them at that point and built them up again. And nowadays my stats are probably alright. I mean, saying that, I'm sure my stats are still inflated a little bit because I remember I used to play in this server, which I don't know if it's still up. I think it was called, like, Nom Nom TF2 or something, because they had, like, a cool YouTube channel which I liked watching. So despite the fact it was in America, I'd basically try and join when I could. And I remember, like, after the post-game celebrations or whatever, the enemy team, like, immediately respawns and you can basically spawn camp them and do stuff. And I remember you can get a lot of points doing things that way, so that might have, like, inflated my stats a little bit, but honestly I wasn't that bad at TF2. I feel like if you're moderately decent you can do a very well, like, pub stomping, quote as you put it. I miss TF2 as a game. Not that it's not around anymore, I mean, it still exists, doesn't it? But a little bit antiquated now, I suppose, but still very much a hold of good memories. Okay, glitches. I'm really trying to think of, like, glitches I took advantage of or anything. I generally can't think of any. I feel like I play the games quite, like, straight, to be honest. Maybe that's boring of me. What do we do, like, most famous video game glitches? Someone's probably made, like, a BuzzFeed article or something. Funniest video game bugs and glitches of all time. World of Warcraft, a corrupted blood instant. Oh, I did hear about this. This is something which people actually now, like, study, I suppose, to see what human reactions are to pandemic situations, I suppose. I mean, now I suppose we have a much better or much larger case study. I should say, maybe not better. Madden, never played. Assassin's Creed, Disappearing Face, that is a pretty iconic one, I'd say. Witcher 3, haven't played. Super Mario Bros, Mindless World, okay. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never played Super Mario Bros. FIFA, Hitman 2, Skyrim. I should really play Skyrim. Sims. I mean, I feel like it's probably much more evident in games which have, what are they called? Games like Dwarf Fortress or like RimWorld or whatever, where you have like a load of different systems which you can interact with or something. What were some of the most well-known or famous video game glitches? Space Invaders moving faster as they died. As a bug as a feature. Oh yeah. Missing No, yeah. That's what I said. Missing No, most famous one. But I know of it. But again, I was very much not part of a generation which was around when Pokemon like really took off. It was already popular by the time I had like conscious memory of games. Like really? Yeah. I mean, Pokemon was released in like 1987 or something, right? 1985 was Mario. 1986 was Legend of Zelda. Actually, maybe Pokemon was also 1985. Pokemon Red release date 1996. Really? That's way. Well, I guess I can. If I thought about it a bit more, that makes sense because it was released on the Game Boy. And the Game Boy was not like. It was definitely NES, SNES for a while before Game Boy came out. Like it was probably a while before Portal games came out in the first place. 1996. So that's still the year I was born. So it was very much popular. Like by the time I was of age to remember it, like or like have developed conscious thought and memory, Pokemon was already popular as far as I knew. Yeah, so I was definitely too young to, I suppose, experience Missing No. Skyrim, Giants. Again, I should really play through Skyrim at some point. I mean, maybe that could be a stream game. I don't know. I feel like playing Skyrim in like 1 hour burst. Maybe, I don't know if it will translate well to a stream game, but we'll see. Spyro? Mario 64 backwards long jump. True. So, all of Cyberpunk 2077. X to shorten. Okay. Super Bounce in Halo 2 and Bullet Jump in Warframe. The Javelin glitch in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know. I've heard of a lot of these glitches, but I've never really experienced them. True, rocket jumping. Kind of came from an unintended interaction. What's the most iconic video game glitch? The swing that sent you flying in GTA 4. Never played GTA. I feel like it must be missing there, maybe. Minus Wild. Ermac for Mortal Kombat. Probably true. Super jumps. Horse on the roof. Nuclear candy. That's true. Sean! Let's see. I don't know. Animal Crossing glitch. Actually, mind you, for all that like hours I played New Horizons with, I don't know if we've run into an Animal Crossing glitch. Let's see what glitches are on New Horizons. In-game friend list. Oh my god, there's actually so many glitches. 24 glitches. Kimono position glitch. I don't think I wear kimono that often. Kiki slider? Villager mouth animation. Fish stop spawning. Shirtless glitch. Stuck moving out glitch. Holding up nothing glitch. I don't know if I've... I mean, obviously, you had to sort of like do something to get the glitch to appear. I feel like because I play the game so like regularly, there's no glitch for me. I don't know. Have we had a glitch? I actually genuinely cannot remember if we've had a glitch or not in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And that's pretty good going, to be perfectly honest. Almost 1,500 episodes, no glitch. You know, good job, Nintendo. Your QA, your quality assurance, rather good. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here, to be perfectly honest, because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.